everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So, John Woo's second American movie that he did was a pretty damn okay hit at the box office, but the critic fucking hated this movie. I especially remember one guy in one magazine who said something of the following: John Woo is the type of director who thinks that a big explosion can only be surpassed by an even bigger explosion, that every fight scene needs to have at least 50 face punches in it. I don't know if he's incorrect about that, but it does seem like a movie that I would enjoy, and I did. I really enjoyed it when it came out. I rewatched it for the purpose of this review, just to see whether or not it was as good as I remembered. It turns out I think it is even better for a number of reasons. So let's find out what this movie is about. By the way, do you think that the actual term of a compromised nuclear warhead would have been a better title, which would have been Empty Quiver? Broken Arrow or Empty Quiver? I don't know, but let's find out what this movie is about, shall we? This is Broken Arrow. So Christian Slater and John Travolta plays two fighter pilots for the US Air Force. They're going to try this super duper stealth plane thing, which they are going to load up with actual factual nuclear weapons, because they want to see, if radar can pick up, the traces of the nukes or something like that. It's not that important. We need to have live nuclear warheads on this plane, because otherwise this movie is not going to work. They're friends, and they're sparring partners, and they have worked together for a long time, but all of a sudden John Travolta betrays them and he steals the nuclear weapons and tries to kill Slater, but Slater jumps out of the airplane and is picked up by a local park ranger, and now he needs to try to stop Travolta from getting the nukes out of Utah, because they might target some big city, and if the US government does not pay up the $250 million that he wants in exchange for giving them back, he might blow up some big metropolitan area or something like that, and we can't have that, can we? So that is essentially the movie. Slater trying to get the nukes back from John Travolta, essentially. So this movie is a very fast-paced, incredibly impactful and spectacular action sequence. This is a type of brain-dead 90s action that is so sorely missed today in today's more sanitized Hollywood product. The thing is that this movie doesn't even clock in at 110 minutes. If this movie would have been made today, it would have been 150 minutes guaranteed. And it is just filled with such fun sequences. It's just action sequence to an action sequence to an action sequence to a big chase to another big action sequence, because a movie like this needs stuff to happen all the time, because if the movie slows down, you might start thinking about the plot and how much sense it makes and stuff like that, and we can't have that, can we? So we have big epic action sequences, we have big chases, we have great one-liners, we have a very underrated soundtrack. Dun 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 dun, bum 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 bum. I love that soundtrack so much. And we also have a bunch of very fun side characters. We have a great fucking villain. I love John Travolta in this one. It hams it up so much that it almost gets ludicrous, but it actually works, because I love John Travolta and he's just enjoying himself so much in this movie, almost to the point where it actually hurts the movie. We'll get to that in a second. I also love the fact that his plan is basically, he's essentially a villain and not a monster. He doesn't really want to, kill innocent people. He just wants to, have money so he can buy 5% of Volvo, so he can enjoy his retirement. What the fuck happened? What? What? Oh no. You stupid motherfucker. The batteries. The fucking batteries to your fucking microphones. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to bail you out now, you idiot. Rather than a greedy motherfucker who just wants to buy 5% of Volvo and, you know, live off the assets and relish in the concept that he is, you know, providing the world with the safest car possible. That is actually one of the best motivations for a villain that I've ever heard. Now, I will also say this before we try to get back to me in Porto and trying to finish this review if possible. So one of the things I did not like about Broken Arrow, especially when I saw it the first time back in 96-97, it was the following. I did not like Christian Slater as our protagonist. I thought it was so bland, I thought it was so boring, and as I might have mentioned earlier, I actually had more sympathy for our villain rather than, you know, our blue-eyed babyface protagonist. And when I rewatched the movie, you know, a few months ago, I discovered that he isn't actually as bland as I remembered him to be. Maybe it is just because, you know, all the other protagonists have gone so much more blander over the years. I don't know, or maybe I was just wrong from the beginning. He is, however, not the most interesting protagonist we've ever seen, and Park Ranger Lady is not that much better because she's mostly saddled with, you know, tagging along with him. Even though she's involved with arguably the funniest sequence in the entire movie, the sequence with Max. Hi, we haven't met. I'm Max. You probably thought I was a computer nerd, didn't you? Wrong, lady. I'm a Navy SEAL. You should see what I can do with only my thumb. If you have the crave for some great 90s action, there are few movies that exemplifies this type of a movie better than Broken Arrow. It's not as John Woo-ish as, let's say, Face Off or Hard Target, which have more of John Woo's fingerprints over it. But this movie is still a very, very, very fun experience. And it ends very abruptly, almost out of nowhere. And then you're sitting there thinking, man, that was just such a fun movie to see. Great side characters, great villain. The hero is not very good, but it could have been worse, I guess. So, in my opinion, Broken Arrow is a very, very, very good 90s action movie, and if you haven't seen it, do see it because it is a whole lot of fun. It's very easy to dismiss a movie like Broken Arrow as just being stupid 90s action cliches and stuff like that, and you would be partially right to think so, but in my opinion, this is just such a fun experience. It's fast-paced, it looks great, the CGI hasn't taken over at this point. I give Broken Arrow 90 points. John Woo has done better movies, there has been better 90s action movies, but this movie is a bit overlooked and in my opinion a bit underrated. I think this movie is absolutely great, and with some small tweaks this movie could have been absolutely magnificent, but now we have to settle with a very, very good movie. And John Travolta's fantastic overacting is worth the price of admission alone. So I'll see you next time for Well So-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.